A very good morning, class 11th. So, as we have started with a new chapter that is about photosynthesis, and in our previous lecture, we discussed about definition of photosynthesis, few early experiments, as well as the historical background of photosynthesis. Today in this lecture we will talk about site of photosynthesis, means where does this photosynthesis actually takes place. Till now we know that photosynthesis takes place in green areas of plant. What are those green areas? If we talk about, those are leaves. But if we talk about specifically where does it occur, in it takes place in, or it occurs in, chloroplast. What is chloroplast? Chloroplast is an organelle. And where is this chloroplast present? Actually, this chloroplast is present in mesophyll cells of leaves. What are these mesophyll cells? They are made up of two types of cells, that is the palisade parenchyma as well as spongy parenchyma. So these mesophyll cells have two areas. One is made up of with the palisade cells, and other one they are the spongy cells. As well as this chloroplast is also present in the other green parts of plants. So the actual, if we talk about the location of photosynthesis, that is the green areas as well as the chloroplast, which and chloroplast is present in these mesophyll cells of leaves. How to recognize these cells? If suppose this one is leaf, if I enlarge, or let's take a look inside the leaf. So if we take a look inside the leaf, what is present inside this leaf? First, the outermost layer. This outermost layer, it is known as cuticle. Then as you can see, there is the upper layer. One, there is the cells which are present in the upper layer, that is upper epidermis, and once here it is the lower epidermis. So two epidermis I have drawn here. One is the upper epidermis and other one is the lower epidermis. Then there are in the center, meso, always this word we used for something which is present in middle. So here in the middle there are present, as you can see, two types of cells. One, they are the elongated ones. These cells, they are known as palisade parenchyma, and another one, they are rounded shaped cells that are known as loosely arranged. These are known as spongy parenchyma. So two types of cells make mesophylls, that is the palisade and spongy parenchyma, and this area is known as mesophyll cells. Fill word we use for leaves, and meso means middle. So these cells, they are present in between the leaf. So this here in the lower epidermis we have stomata. So that is and in the center we have vascular connection, that is our xylem and phloem. This is the structure inside the, or you can say this is the cross section of a leaf. This structure is cross section. If you cut a leaf, then what will you observe inside a leaf? So this is the inside cells present in a leaf. Now if I enlarge this mesophyll cell complete area, then what is observed here, that this is one bigger mesophyll cell. And what is present there? There is a vacuole in one corner, and other corner there is nucleus, and here they are having chloroplast. So that is present in a mesophyll cell. Because we have to talk about chloroplast, so I have just mentioned major things, not all the things. Chloroplast, nucleus, vacuole. This is the enlarged view of mesophyll cell, these mesophyll cells which we have drawn here. Now we have to talk about this structure, because actually photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. chloroplast. So we have to talk about this. Now, as you know that chloroplast is an organelle which is two membrane structure. So these are the two membrane. As you can see, this one is outer membrane and this one is inner membrane. So it has two membrane structure, outer and inner membrane. Then inside this there is a present jelly or fluid like material which is known as this jelly green dots. As you can see, I'm drawing here, this is known as stroma. These green dots, they are known as this material jelly like structure, it is known as stroma, like the cytoplasm in a cell. Now there is a stack, there is a pile of these membranous structures, as you can see, one above the other, one above the other. These are the piles, one above the other, of the membranous structure, and one complete structure, this complete pile up is known as granum. One complete pile is known as granum, and only one, if I talk about only this structure, this single sac is known as thylakoid. Complete sac, one above the other, make a piles one above the other, that is known as granum, and single is known as thylakoid. Then there is, as you can see, these blue dots. As you can observe, if you can observe these blue dots here, I'm sorry, these blue dots, these blue dots, they are ribosomes, right? So chloroplasts, they have their own ribosome, then they have their own DNA also. So this is DNA, then these are ribosomes, then there is a starch granules. These are these ring like structure, these are starch granules. Then there is the red droplets, red color structure, these are known as lipid droplets. So what is present there? The outer membrane, inner membrane, jelly like structure, that is stroma, lipid droplets, ribosomes, starch granules, as well as DNA. Now these piles, these granum, they are connected to each other. These are connected to each other with the help of stromal lamellae. So these connecting links, this is known as stromal lamellae. So this is the complete section or the structure of chloroplast. You have to draw and you have to understand here. Now I have taken here this enlarged thylakoid. If we look at this enlarged one single sac of thylakoid, single sac which is known as thylakoid, then inside this there are present these green structure inside the membrane of thylakoid which is known as chlorophyll. These green colored structure, it is known as chlorophyll, and this is the membrane of thylakoid. This is membrane. This is membrane of thylakoid. So basically the thylakoid, inside the thylakoid there is present our chlorophyll molecules. If we have to draw here, so we can draw here these structures, that here chlorophyll is present. Chlorophyll is present inner membrane of thylakoid. So where is chlorophyll present? I think you are clear now. In the membrane of thylakoid, it is present there. This is one enlarged thylakoid, so chlorophyll is present there. Now I told you many times that photosynthesis complete, if we talk about complete photosynthesis, it get completed in two reaction. One is light reaction and another one is dark reaction. So Now obviously there is a particular site, so area in which light reaction happen, that is thylakoids, that is these thylakoids. And dark reaction occurs in stroma, means if this is your chloroplast, then there is a jelly like structure which is known as stroma. There is the dark reaction takes place. So these both the sides should be clear to you, that these are very important. Now there is a special, everyone has to perform its own function, so that particular specific function is known as division of labor, means everyone is given its particular function to perform. So in chloroplast there is a particular membrane system. What is that system? Which contain grana. Granas are these are grana. When we talk about many pile up structure, then these are known as grana. Grana is plural. Stromal lamellae through which these are connected to each other. Stromal lamellae as well as fluid stroma. Fluid is which is present in the chloroplast. This is fluid stroma. So these three together they make a membrane system. What is the function of these membrane system? They are responsible for trapping, for capturing light energy, and for the synthesis of ATP and NADPH. What is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate, that is the energy currency of the cell. But what is NADPH? NADPH is reducing power. Mostly it is used in those reaction in which electrons are getting transferred, like photosynthesis. So its full form is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. And many times students ask me, man, then what is H for? H is for the, H means hydrogen, right? So these is about the ATP is energy currency, and NADPH is the reducing power, which is used in the NADPH mainly helps in the redox or the reduction reactions. Now the events, because all these things they are directly dependent on light, so these are involved in light reaction of photosynthesis. So these all are the light reaction specific, that grana, membrane system, stromal lamellae, fluid stroma, ATP, they are produced in light reaction. Now next is the dark reaction. In stroma, enzymatic reactions occur. As first point we wrote in photosynthesis, that it is enzyme regulated process. So in stroma, many enzyme reactions occur. What they do, they incorporate carbon dioxide, they add carbon dioxide. What carbon dioxide will do? It forms sugar. Which sugar is formed here? Glucose. But these all events, enzymatic reactions, formation of carbohydrate, it is not directly dependent on light. They depend on ATP and NADPH. That is why these reactions are called dark reaction. And dark reaction, where does this dark reaction takes place? It takes place in stroma of chloroplast. Now there is another, when you read it from NCERT on page number 209, they have asked, what do you think the chloroplast will be aligned with their flat surfaces parallel to the walls of mesophyll cells? So basically these are the chloroplast. As you can see, these chloroplasts, they are aligned parallel to the walls of mesophyll cells when the intensity of light is minimum, means when the light they are getting, chloroplast, they are getting low light, or when the plant cell is getting very minimum light, there is the exposure of very less light, the chloroplast molecules, they will be aligned with their flat surfaces to the, means if this is our mesophyll cells, the chloroplast will align parallel to the walls of mesophyll cells. वो एकदम flat होके mesophyll cells के parallel attached हो जाएंगे, so that they can get maximum light of to on their surface. So this type of condition, when the light is minimum and chloroplast they are paler to the mesophyll cell, this is called epistrophe. This is one of very important question from the NEET point of view. This is condition is called epistrophe. But the another thing they have asked, when would be the chloroplast? They perpendicular, they will be perpendicular to the incident light. Now here, suppose here you are getting the light, when the light will be maximum, when the plant cell they will be getting maximum light, the chloroplast will be aligned perpendicular to the walls of mesophyll cells. Because actually what happens, the to avoid, here is also a catch, because these this is to avoid the photo oxidation. Now what is photo oxidation? Because if they will get directly now on the wall here, then it will destruct the chlorophyll molecule, means chlorophyll molecule will break down, it get destructed, टूटना शुरू हो जाएगा वो. So it is this direct exposure is very harmful. So that is why they align perpendicular if the light is maximum, but to avoid the photo oxidation. And this kind of condition is called parastrophe. As you can see, this they align, these are the chloroplast, they perpendicular to the incident light, and this condition is parastrophe. This kind of condition is epistrophe. The third one is when the light is moderate, then there is no tension, chloroplast they are present randomly, because now they can get equal or very proper way in a light in a very moderate way or very appropriate light, so they will arrange randomly. So that kind of condition is called apostrophe. So three conditions are there: epistrophe, parastrophe, and apostrophe. So this is all about today, and I will meet you now next with the pigments. Till then, take care.